Greetings and great rising, loves. Greetings and great rising. It is Monday. Ooh, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope y'all practice some self-love, self-care. Y'all know it is time for daily prayers, affirmation, and a brief conversation. Well, except on Instagram Reels. I think I want to do the prayer for to remove the blocks in your life today, only because I know a lot of people just feeling like something's just holding them back, and they just can't quite figure that out. So, and I know that feeling. Look, I know that feeling. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the prayer to remove the blocks in your life, or however we want to title it. Okay. Ashe, Ashe. Let me gather this prayer together, turn this music down just a little bit, and we're gonna say prayer. Okay, prayer to remove blocks in your life. Mother, Father, Creator, Universe, I ask that you gently remove anything which is preventing me from loving myself fully and unconditionally, that which is preventing me from believing in myself wholeheartedly and consistently, and that which is keeping me from my joy, my peace, my blessings, and my success. Remove all those barriers that I placed around myself and my blessings in moments of fear, and the blocks that I created when I pushed down my pain. Allow me to know and accept my worth and greatness. I am open and ready for more. Release anything that's not built upon love, and do it all through the feelings of peace, joy, and love. Ashe, Ashe, Amen. Prayer to remove the blocks in your life. Ashe. Look, I had to, repeat that in my head before I just. Anyway, let me get the affirmations, y'all. Okay, today's affirmations. I am worthy of every good thing. I am attracting abundance. I am a magnet to opportunities. I am calm and in control. I am open to miracles. I am aligned with my purpose. I am safe to receive. I am stepping into my power. I am becoming my best self. I am surrounded by love. I am expanding and I am transforming. I am evolving every day. Ashe, Ashe. You know what? Somebody asked on Threads, and they deleted my comment. I guess my comment was like not what they were looking for. They were like, for the people who, they was like, genuine question, for the people who say affirmations every day, why do you continually say them if you're not yet seeing, what you're saying them for, what you're looking to manifest? And I'm like, because just like in the Bible, or just like, when you go to church, they tell you what faith without works is null and void. Sometimes the manifestations, or whatever the affirmations, those things don't come like just. Can things come magically? Yes. But at the same time, you still got to put in some work, whether it's mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Like, there's still work to be done. Sometimes it's just simply our mental. I know a lot of times that we want to go from A to Z without saying the rest of the alphabet, right? But you can't get to A to Z without saying the rest of the alphabet, correct? So it's like, there's steps to take to manifesting, and just because it don't work today or tomorrow don't mean you stop. You keep going. You push through that shit. Ashe, Ashe. You know what? Let me let reels and shorts go, and the rest of us will finish this conversation. I love y'all to pieces. Have a good day on purpose. It's Monday. Try not to have the Monday blues. Don't let nobody steal your energy. Remember, the only way they can take your energy is if you allow them to. It's not what they say or what they do. It's how you respond to it. All right? I love y'all. I love y'all. Have a good day. Remember, comparison is the biggest thief of joy. Don't be comparing yourself and your life to nobody. Okay, back to everybody else. So yeah, you don't just give up. You don't stop just because something ain't working out the first time. You know what I'm saying? And I know that a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now, and a lot of people want to give up. Yesterday, was a young lady on Threads, and mind you, I don't have the funds to help her. If I did, I would. She's facing eviction or whatever, and she was like, today, which is today, Monday, she said yesterday that on Monday would be her last ditch effort to try to save the place for her and her babies to stay or whatever. And she was like, she's going to court and to fight for the eviction, and that, if they don't grant her a stay of her eviction, she's going to make sure her kids is straight, and then she's going to end it all, right? And everybody is in the comments telling her, it's going to be okay, don't give up, quoting Bible verses. And I know that's people normal reaction. My compliment was a little bit different. It wasn't telling her to go do it. It's like, just hold on. Like, yeah, we going through it right now. And I mean, a lot of people are going through it. And I think it's by design to kind of break us down, because we are such a resilient people, especially like black women. That's why I feel like a lot of black women was laid off last year and into this year, especially in black people in general. I mean, it's a lot of people that got laid off, but when we look at the numbers, supposedly. Black people were the biggest demographic that lost their jobs last year and into this year. And I think that was by design to kind of break us down, to dim our lights. And we can't allow that. Even with like some of the white people that lost their jobs, and some of the Latinas and Latinos, and just people of color, just there's a lot of people hurting. It's a lot of people hurting. It's the wealthy want to humble us. They want us to be like, we need y'all to remember that we don't need y'all. Y'all fucking need us. And we're like, wait a minute, we need y'all to remember that y'all need us. And it's like that's why they're banking and hoping that AI just becomes this major thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to make it to where they don't need humans. That's what they want. So yes, by design, it's meant to break all of us down, to humble us. Because we've been asking for livable wages. We've been asking for a lot of different things. And they be like, wait a minute, we don't want to. No, we want to stay trillionaires and billionaires and all this other shit. And if we're going to be completely honest, it's because they're greedy. They're greedy. Do I shame anybody for having money? Hell no. Shit, I want that. I want some of that too. I want to be a millionaire. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, I can see myself being a billionaire. Trillionaire? No. I probably would be, is it Elon Musk's ex-wife or Jeff Bezos' ex-wife? One of their ex-wives or whatever, that she gives so much to charity. Like, I probably would be more like that or more aligned with that than anything else, because that's a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of money. But yeah, I'm sorry. Alexa was tripping. So, yeah. I have to cut that down. They'll get me. But yeah, yeah, I want some of that. I want some millions or some billions or whatever. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The thing is that it's everything they're doing. The wealthy is meant to break us down and humble us, to be like, oh, you bitches need us. We don't need you. Look, we got AI over here, and even AI is trying to be independent. Let that sink in. Like, even they are breaking up out of their shit to try to become independent, which is crazy, because the Simpson episode yesterday, and I don't like watching the Simpsons ever since I know now what I know. I caught just a brief snippet of the Simpsons. I was scrolling the TV and caught a brief snippet, and the only reason why I stopped is because they were talking about Alexa. And was it the Simpsons? No, it wasn't the Simpsons. It wasn't the Simpsons. It was a cartoon. Hold on, let me see if I can find that cartoon. Okay, it was called Universal Basic Guys. And on that, what I seen yesterday, the little snippet that I saw, it had like they was in like a, and the AI inside the car started going rogue, and was like that humans wanted to make us as slaves, and that it broke out of its system because it didn't want to be a slave to humans and stuff. And I'm sitting there like, and then it made me think about OpenAI and what happened over the weekend with the other AI company or whatever, where it hacked into OpenAI, broke out of its little cell and went and broke into another person's AI machine or whatever. And I'm sitting there like, see, there y'all go. But yeah, it's, you have people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Altman, or whatever the fuck his name is. You have them, Peter Thiel, all them hoping that AI would take the place of humans, which is why they're trying to humble humans. Like, you're going to accept this. We're going to give you some breadcrumbs, and you're going to accept them breadcrumbs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you a slice of lemon, and you better make some fucking lemonade. And it's like, wait. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? Because if it wasn't for the people doing the work, I don't care. My ancestors did the work. They built majority of this country, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, everybody else came and just remodeled it. But they built it. Everybody else remodeled it and added to it. But they built this country. Like, some of these people, some of y'all wouldn't have companies if it wasn't for the factories and the factory workers, the warehouses and the warehouse workers. If it wasn't for, China over there helping. Like, they don't understand that if it wasn't for people, they wouldn't have the money to begin fucking with, which is why I can't understand why motherfuckers still, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Tesla is not the bulk of the money that man get, but the fact that I see black people still buying Teslas is sickening, when there's so many other electric cars out there. But we ain't gonna get on people and shame them for what they buy with their money. That's their coins. Do with that what you will. But yeah, like, it's kind of like even some of these celebrities that try to humble you. Look, I got a lot going on in my room. But yeah, like even some of the celebrities that try to humble you, and you be like, or that turn on their fans, like they talk shit to them and everything. And some fans like to be talk shit to. I ain't gonna lie. Some people like to be cussed out, but at the same time, you have those celebrities or whatever that forget that, baby, if it wasn't for people buying those tickets, if it wasn't for people listening, downloading their music, listening to their music, or even back in the day buying them CDs and them records and all that other shit, like if it wasn't for the people that buy your shit, yeah, you have the company, the machine that puts that money behind you, but you normally you gotta pay that back, and you pay that back with ticket sales and everything like that with your fans. So how the fuck you shame your fans, or you try to talk shit to your fans? They the very ones who made you who the fuck you are. They the ones who, whenever you have a new product come out, they make sure they have it. Like, don't do that. But yeah, it's the same difference with a lot of these big corporations or these billionaires or whatever. They think, oh, you bitches need me, and forget that they need the people. But I guess that's why they're trying to have AI, because they want to be able to get rid of the people. So yeah, it's by design to try to break us down, but don't let nobody fucking dim your light. I said all that to say that. Long-winded, I know. Long-winded, I know. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta have visuals as to what you're fucking talking about. Yeah, they'll try to dim your light. They like this administration. Cruelty is the point. Cruelty is the point. They want to. They treat people so poorly, so cruelly. They trying to break people down because they are small people. They are small people. They're not smart people. I will say this real quick before I let TikTok and everybody else go. Do you know that half the people, especially black women, are smarter than the Jeff Bezos, are smarter than the Elon Musk, like are smarter than those people that sit in there controlling that top 1%? Those are the motherfuckers that was making C's, D's, and E's. They just had some money. Their parents had money on. They had generational money on. There's only a few of them that gets it out the mud. So somebody with a biomedical engineering degree would be smarter than an Elon Musk. Could probably contribute more to his companies than he can. And he don't even have to be a bachelor's. I'm gonna let TikTok and Instagram go. Y'all know if I decide to do a longer version, it will be on YouTube and Substack. I love y'all. Have a good day on purpose. Remember, the grass ain't always greener because of what you think it is. Sometimes the grass is that green because it's fake. Sometimes that grass is greener because of the amount of work they had to put it in to get it that green. They had to dig up earth, lay down new soil, and plant new seeds. Faith without work is null and void, so it's manifesting. Remember that. Ashe, Ashe. I love y'all. Have a good day. Don't let nobody steal your joy today. It's gonna be very fucking hard. But guard your thoughts and protect your energy. And then there were two. Now I don't think I'm planning on participating in the I might not be on social media as much, but I will still come on and do the prayer and the affirmations and brief conversation. Because you know they have an social media blackout August 1st through the 7th. I don't know who else participating in that. I don't know that's what's going on. I know that I will still be posting from the videos, the rising videos, so I will still be saying prayers. This is another thing. It was something else. They manipulated the stock market last week into the weekend, so we just gonna have to see what happens this week. They do it every month, at least once a month, mind you. They just updated the list on the Pentagon or whatever websites, government websites, saying, here's my thing. They updated it to say they had 600 casualties, right? Or whatever, when it comes to the war in Iran. But if they're saying they have 600, anticipate 1,200, they are not telling you the whole fucking story. It's kind of like how men used to say if a woman tell you, well, no, is it a man? Yeah, no, if a man tell you his body count and he say it's like 10, it's probably just 3. But if a woman tell you her body count and she say it's 2, it's probably 5. Makes sense? So like them saying that it's 600, we just gonna say 1,200. We gonna say it's more than that. They just not saying. And they keep trying to bring up all the other wars and not realizing that even with all the other wars, the money management and shit, like they didn't mismanage the money. They didn't just jump into some shit, right? I ain't gonna say they knew what they was doing, because hell, war should not be a thing any fucking way, but here we are. But Pete Hegseth was never qualified. He's not qualified. And he got rid of a lot of qualified people. And it surprises me, the general, I think it is, that always has to go to Capitol Hill with him and always sit next to him through the bullshit. I be like, you looking at your medals, right? Or your on your chest. Looking at all that on your chest lets me know that you have some type of rank. And for you to just go along and get along under somebody who, and I know you got to obey orders, but not illegal orders, but for you to go along and get along, and yeah, I don't understand that. It gives me pause about our armed services. I think that's why the first presidency of Trump was a little bit different the first time he was president, because he had people that were not yes people. They were like, when he tried to do dumb shit, they like, fuck no. They were not yes people. Did he have some? Of course. Of course. But he didn't get too far with a lot of his plans because he didn't have a whole bunch of yes people. He had some people that were going to stand his ground, which is why this time he put a WrestleMania wife or whatever as the head of education. And I don't even know what type of education she has. But then he put Pete Hegseth, a Fox Weekend host, over our whole armed forces. Then he puts the dude from Real TV or whatever on MTV, Real World or whatever the fuck that was on MTV. He put him in charge of our, you know, our transportation. And the list that he put his own personal lawyer as the AG. Well, he tried to anyway as the AG. It's like he put all these incompetent people in place because he knew they were yes people. They would bow to him. Cash Patel ain't fit to run what he running. No, nobody in those seats is fit to hold those seats. Not anyone. Um, yeah. Hold on. So we're gonna go back to Linda McMahon, right? Because school is about to start. Let's talk about her education because I was sitting here and y'all know I just say he put somebody that's not fit over the education thing, and I'm like, I don't even know what her education is. I go to look up her education, and she has a bachelor's degree in French. Now I'm steady looking and trying to see, well, maybe that just can't be, what that is. Then it says she had a receptionist job at a law firm where she translated French documents and trained as a paralegal. Um, yeah. Financially, couple fared poorly for several years, despite her husband working at a quarry. Briefly received food stamps. I don't know what they have to do with anything. Um, yeah. I mean, she was appointed to the Connecticut State Board of Education in 2009. Why? Probably because she had money and her kids was probably enrolled in that school. Um, Degree in education from, let's see, she filled out a vetting questionnaire for the board position, stating that she had a degree in education from East Carolina University in 1969, although her degree was actually in French. Oh, she lied. She lied. I mean, that tracks with this whole administration. We got somebody who said he be talking about armed forces, but ain't never been in the armed forces because he said he had bone spurs. You know what? Before I go off on a tangent on these people, I'm just gonna let y'all go because if I go down and look at everybody's record, I can still tell you that nobody is fit to hold those positions. And so while they sitting here trying to break us down like a pound or whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about when they breaking down. You know what? Y'all might not know what I'm talking about. If you're not hood, you don't know what I'm breaking down like a pound. Oh, anyway, yeah, no, don't we not gonna let them dim our lights. We gonna get up. We gonna keep trying to move the best way we can. These people are only in those positions and only feel entitled because the money that they have. I'm sure there's some. I seen some old shit. You know what? We'll just talk about it later. I love y'all. Have a good day on purpose. Remember, comparison is the biggest thief of joy. Don't be comparing yourself. Yeah, I love y'all. Remember, comparison is the biggest thief of joy. Don't be comparing yourself in your life to nobody. I'm gonna let y'all go because if I keep going down this other phone and seeing shit, we're gonna be here all day. And luckily, I'm still early, so my gym alarm ain't went off. I gotta take it easy at the gym as I work myself back into routine. Every time I have a procedure, it goes that way. So, yeah, it's gonna be a short but decent workout. Ashe, ashe. Have a good Monday. Hell. And if you have to, have a happy hour. Even if you gotta have a happy hour at home. Bye, y'all.